So before we start with equations, let's go back to the more basic algebraic operations. There we learned to convert various descriptions into algebraic expressions. So for example, if we say add 2 to x, what it means is that we start off with x and then we add 2 to it. Another example, say multiply y by 3. So we have y, we multiply by 3. And we can combine the operations too. We can have descriptions with more than one operations. For example, let's say multiply x by 5, then and add 3. So we have x multiplied by 5, then add 3, or 5x plus 3. One thing to note though is that the order of operations may become important in these sort of situations. For example, subtract 10 from y, then multiply the result by 6. So in this case, notice that subtraction happens first. So we have y, we subtract 10 from it, and then the result of it. So it has to go into a bracket because we have to find out, we have to have y minus 10 happen first, and then we divide everything by 6. Okay. In this topic, in equations, it's important that we have to be able to invert these operations. So whatever we do, we have to undo. So for example, to undo, if we have x plus 2, if we want to go back to x from this stage, then we have to subtract 2 from it, and it gives us x. Similarly, if we have y times 3, if we want to go back to y, the first thing we have to do is to divide it by 3. As you can see the pattern here. Minus 2 undoes plus 2. Divide by 3 undoes multiply by 3. Similarly, for the combined operations, we have 5x plus 3. Of course, because two things has happened here, times 5 and plus 3. In this stage, we have to take 2 steps to undo it. So we have minus 3, which gives us 5x. And then we have to divide by 5, which gives us x in the end. Similarly, with y minus 10 in parentheses, divide by 6, we have to take 2 steps. Firstly, we multiply by 6. So multiply cancels out divide, So we end up with y minus 10. And then we add 10 to cancel out the minus 10. And we end up with y. So this is just how we undo all the operations. And let's try a few more examples. So say we have, let's say 5a plus 2. So in this case, to reach a, we have to undo the multiply by 5 first. So we divide everything by 5 and we get to a plus 2. And then to undo the plus 2, we subtract 2 from it, and then we reach a. For other examples, say 8x plus 15. So firstly, we subtract 15 to cancel out, add a 15. So we end up with 8x. And then we divide by 8 to cancel out the 8 here, and we are left with x. Okay. So if we have, say, a plus 1 divided by 5. To cancel out the 5 here, we'll have multiply by 5 first. So we end up with a plus 1. And then to undo the 1 here, we subtract 1 from it, and then we end up with a. So these are the steps in undoing the operations in an algebraic expression, so that we can reach the polynomial in the end.